Imagine a world where December 21st actually did happen and black people started flying across the sky. Think about the kind of problems that would cause. Especially in this climate, with race tensions as high as it is right now, there's no telling what kind of madness would come out of it. Now, imagine something like that happening in the early 60s. I mean, yeah, right now it's pretty bad, but the 60s make today look like a dream. And you know what would be a white person's biggest nightmare during that time? A Negro that could smash their face in with the flick of his finger. Enter the story of Adam Bashir, Marvel's first black superhero. There are a lot of black superheroes out in mainstream nowadays. Green Lantern, Storm, Black Panther, Falcon, Black Lightning, even Miles Morales is starting to get more spotlight. But I never hear Adam's name brought in conversation. And it's crazy to believe because he's the strongest black hero there is, with a compelling backstory that I think would make for a good movie or TV show if done right. I know a lot of people have never heard of him, so for part 2 of my Black History Month videos, I'm going to introduce you to one of the toughest black men in comic book history. Meet Marvel's Black Superman, aka Blue Marvel. Not much is known about Adam's early childhood, but in his early adulthood, he was an All-American fullback from Cornell University. Not only was he athletically gifted, he was mentally gifted as well, graduating magna cum laude from Cornell in 1954 for electrical engineering and returning to earn himself a PhD in theoretical physics. Afterwards, Adam joined the Marines, entering the Korean War and gaining silver stars for his contributions. Shortly after the war, Blue Marvel became involved in an attempt to create a negative reactor, which created a bridge between our world and the negative zone, an alien universe made of antimatter. The reactor was designed to become a clean source of energy, or maybe even a weapon of mass destruction. However, well, you probably see where this is going. The reactor blew up, and instead of dying like a normal person would, Adam got superpowers from it, becoming a human antimatter reactor. With his newfound powers, he decided to become the Blue Marvel. For a while, Adam wowed the country with his feats, catching an asteroid the size of Arizona, lifting the Enterprise out of the Pacific. He was truly the people's hero. That was until the people found out what he really was, an unstoppable black man. Despite countless times he showed his altruistic, heroic ways, the people instantly turned on him. White people were both mad and afraid of the power that Adam held, while black people were angry with him for not doing more and getting reparations for countless years of injustice. Stuck in between two worlds, Adam couldn't do justice anymore. When he tried to save children, people threw rocks and called him slurs. Even when police shot at him and the bullets ricocheted, killing a woman, he was still blamed. The country came close to tearing itself apart, so the then President JFK made a decision to have Adam resign from being in the Blue Marvel. He gave Adam a Presidential Medal of Freedom as a token for his gratitude and set him into seclusion for the rest of his life. However, Blue Marvel served one last mission. An alien of unknown origins approached Earth, so the government requested that Adam engage. The point was to solve it peacefully, but the alien became hostile, resulting in a battle that left Blue Marvel presumed dead. Adam did not perish though, only taking refuge on the moon, where he briefly met the Watcher, the observer of all things. Out of nowhere, a fleet of warships following the alien scout from earlier attacked Earth, so Blue Marvel mustered up the strength to do this last courageous act. He destroyed the entire fleet by himself and returned to Earth, where he married, started a family, and stayed out of the public eye for the next 50 years. He lived a quiet life, raising 3 children and teaching at the University of Maryland, but it was suddenly interrupted by the emergence of his old enemy, the Anti-Man, aka Connor Simmons, Adam's best friend from the Korean War that was involved in the same accident as Adam. Surprisingly, Connor returned with a vengeance against the people of Earth, attempting to destroy it once and for all. He was a foe even the Avengers couldn't beat on their best day. Despite his reservations with returning to the spotlight after all this time, Adam once again donned his Blue Marvel costume to save the world. After this, Blue Marvel becomes more of a background character, so I will understand why you've never heard of him. He's been part of teams like the Mighty Avengers, which is essentially the Avengers B team, and the Ultimates, but he's never been in the main spotlight before. As for why I call him the Black Superman, well, he's got some similarities that can't be ignored. He's got his own underwater science fortress called the Kadesh Base, sort of like the Fortress of Solitude. He's weak to a green material called the tronium, an unstable substance from the negative zone. almost exactly like how Superman is weak to a green rock from his home planet Krypton. Adam's costume was also obviously a ripoff. They're both the goodiest of goody two-shoes, spending their time saving anyone they can on the planet instead of being focused in one area. But the biggest reason, of course, is because of his strength level. While I could sit here all day and analyze this asteroid to see just how many tons he's actually lifting, I'm not death battled, so we're going to take a small detour. We all know Hook, right? The not-so-jolly green giant. Well, you should also know that the madder he gets, the stronger he gets, and he could not have been more angry than in the event World War Hook. Long story short, Hook waged a war against Earth's heroes because they sent him to an alien planet, and when he finally settled and made a life for himself, the spaceship they sent him in destroyed it all, even killing his wife and unborn child. So, you can imagine how pissed off he was. He ends up taking down everyone, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, even all the Avengers. Everyone except for the Sentry, which is basically Marvel's Superman. The fight between them rocked the country, and it took everything out of the raging Hook to fight him. Blue Marvel knocked the Sentry into space with one punch. So yeah, I'd say he's pretty strong. He's frequently put in the same league as Hulk and Thor by his peers and seen as an alpha threat. Not only that, but he's also beaten the ultimate version of the Hook in one hit and bested King Hyperion, which is basically Marvel's Superman. Yeah, Marvel has a cloning problem. Other than strength, he's nigh invulnerable, shrugging off a close proximity hydrogen bomb and taking on an entire team of heavy-hitting Avengers. He can also fly beyond supersonic speeds, breathe in space, age slowly, manipulate antimatter, create constructs with said antimatter, and shoot powerful energy beams. On top of all of that, his intellect is comparable to that of Dr. Doom and Reed Richards. He was even smart enough to figure out how to fix Galactus and his hunger, turning him from a devourer into a life-bringer. I think his origin story could work as a movie or TV show if stretched out some more. Maybe expand more on his time in the army, or as a Blue Marvel before he was exposed. His villain also isn't bad. Connor Sims' brother was killed by the FBI, and he became hellbent on creating a world without racism, no matter what it took. Then, after the 40-year time jump, he was determined to destroy the Earth, since even after all this time, racism was still very prevalent. His story has since changed a little bit, now saying that he saw the secrets of the universe and became crazy, but I still like the original idea for the character, contrasting Blue Marvel's more peaceful tactics. I don't think Blue Marvel will work in the MCU though. It would be weird to shoot him in here after the world almost ended. Plus, he's way too powerful to make anything a challenge. MCU, Thor, and Hook are nowhere near as strong as they are in the comics. However, it could work as a standalone movie, especially in this climate. We need more heroes that are created as African American heroes, with real African American problems, instead of race swaps like Johnny Storm and Domino. There are a couple of problems though. For one, I'm sure black people have grown past the need for movies reminding us of our history. In addition, it's also about a character who abandoned his people in the thick of it because he wanted peace, but that may not be what we need right now. However, I think that is what makes Adam's struggle compelling, because he's burdened with the decision he made that day. It also doesn't help that every black character he comes across reminds him of his failure, even going as far as to say that the church bombing and Emmett Till are his fault. So, while it may not work as a political statement saying something like we need to be patient, it's still an interesting dilemma. The only problem I personally have is with his wife. There's nothing wrong with dating white women. Everyone can choose who they want. My issue is the context. The government still doesn't trust Adam by himself, so they sent her as a spy to watch over him. Why was it a white woman, you ask? Well, because of this right here, apparently. And I wouldn't even be upset about this if Adam didn't immediately prove him right. Plus, she died at the end of his very first story by jumping into the middle of the fight, so he could completely cut her out of the story and it wouldn't change a thing. But that's just a personal gripe. In the end, I just think this character deserves more love and decided to share a bit of the background behind him so you could get to know him too. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. I've never tried these little video essays before, but it's a lot of fun doing the research for these characters, so I don't mind them. Let me know if you enjoyed this one too, or maybe I'll do another. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more.